Here are my April favorites. You might find something that piques your interest, or maybe even something that will be your favorite for the next month. So I want to start off with media, particularly movies. I had a few favorites, including Coffee, Thank God It's Friday, and Double Platinum. Coffee, excellent movie. It's a blaxploitation film starring Pam Grier. The soundtrack is done by Roy Ayers, rest in peace. Well done film, I really enjoyed it. Next, Thank God It's Friday, starring Donna Summers, the icon. It's a feel-good film. It is funny, it's visually stimulating. I love the outfits. It was set in like a discotheque, so you're gonna be partying, enjoying yourself, dancing, all things that you cannot really find in the average nightlife scene today, unfortunately. But anyway, lastly, I wanted to touch on Double Platinum, which featured both Diana Ross and Brandy. I really enjoyed that one. Not only did it show the absolute diva that is Diana, but also depicted a story about accountability and making amends, especially like with that strained mother-daughter relationship. I really did enjoy seeing it. It's not something that you often see. I did cry a little. Also, I do need to watch Cinderella, which also has Brandy. I love Impossible, the song Impossible. That's her singing in Whitney. I love that song so much. They need to put it on streaming. Why is it not on streaming? But anyways, still on the topic of media, I have been listening to a podcast, which is not my thing because personally I feel like most people are not interesting enough. You're not funny enough and you're not witty enough for me to be listening to you. Especially like most podcasts, it's like very dry conversations. I would rather not. I'd rather something educational or like nothing at all. Like if I want to kiki with friends or if I want to talk shit, I'll do that. But I'm not gonna listen to you do that on a podcast and line your pockets. That won't be happening. So anyway, a podcast that I have been enjoying is Someone Somewhere podcast. She also has a website as well. She provides information regarding menstruation, herbalism, and land stewardship, which all actually go together. Enjoy her podcast and her other resources that can be found on her website, her YouTube, and so forth. Her Instagram. Something that I have also appreciated has been her critical yet reverent but also historically accurate viewpoint. I like to listen to her podcast when I am doing like chores or I'm stretching or anything like that. I found the resources that she shared on menstruation to be very helpful, and I do plan on implementing a lot of her tips in the future. Alright, so now we move on to like beauty practices and things of that nature, something that I have been enjoying. I guess for the month of April, but just in general, sloughing off the dead skin cells, sloughing off the shit that you don't want anymore, the old stuff, the things that serve no purpose anymore, the things that's gonna stop all the stuff that you're putting on your skin to really penetrate. When you feel like, or like in my experience at least, and I would say this is probably true, you're putting moisturizer, you're putting stuff on top of your skin and it's like it's not doing anything. And you're like flaky, it's not doing anything. Exfoliation is a big part of that, and I think that was also a metaphor for life, by the way. Sometimes you have to get rid of people, okay? Some people need to be gone, okay? Terminated. So here is the Korean bath mat that I've been using. I've had this for a few years. I just started in the wash. I've used the nets, I've used the gloves, I've used just a regular washcloth, rag, whatever you call it. But this, I would say, is my favorite, my absolute favorite. You can kind of see it's a little abrasive, which is the point, that's the point. But you can control, of course, you know, the amount of force that you use. So I would say like, you're gonna be a little gentler here, you're gonna be gentle, but like when it's time to get like under the arm them, under the back jaw, under the foot, that's when you can really get down to business and do what you need to do. So I really do like this. It eliminated the need for me to continue to purchase physical exfoliants. The First Aid Beauty exfoliant, you know, I like that one, the KP one. I like it, but it is expensive. I don't really want to support that brand anymore. And yeah, I mean, why get something that you're gonna have to continue purchasing when you can just use this? I do find that I do like to use it on my lips sometimes. I want to talk about lip liners. So finding a lip liner that was dark enough for me was a struggle, girl. I used to be able to use the browns, I don't know, the espressos and the chestnuts and the this and that. They don't really work for me no more, I guess, or they never work for me because they never really provided that look, that high contrast look, which is what I'm looking for. I mean, the whole point of putting on a lip liner is to contrast, right? You need to define the lips. That's what you're trying to do. So you see, we're trying to define the lip. That cannot be done with a warm tone pencil. You know what I mean? It can't be done with a warm tone pencil that is just about my shade. So personally, I was using this one, the Makeup Forever. And it's creamy, but it's a no for me because it's so creamy, it won't withstand, which is what you need to do. I need my lip liner to withstand, or at least attempt, like have a fighting chance against I'm talking, I'm laughing, I have gloss on, I have lipstick on, I'm smoking, I'm drinking, I'm eating. I needed to at least, you know, try. So this here is the LA Girl Ultimate Eye Intensity Auto Liner in the shade Deep Pressed Brown. So like, for example, if you're looking for a dark liner, especially a cool tone, which is what you're trying to do because you want like that sort of pouty shadow look. So sometimes find that eye pencils, whether it be like eyeliner or like even eyebrow pencils, will have more your shade. Well, it will have more the dark cool tone shade that you're interested in, that we're looking for, that will actually show up. So I'm gonna show you here. This is Deep Pressed Brown. So you see that? It's Deep Pressed Brown. I will say it's LA Girl Pro, so you know it's affordable. But it's an auto liner, which is not my favorite. I don't know. I mean, it's not bad at all. Like, I'm not mad at it. And you get a good amount of product considering that it's waterproof, so you won't be reapplying. I understand that, but it's just the sharpening process is going to be quite interesting. I actually have not sharpened it yet. So yeah, but I still like it though for its staying power. Absolutely. This one is an actual wooden pencil. It's by Ami Collet. I actually mispronounced it. So this is in the shade Midnight. So I'm gonna swatch this one for you. I do need to sharpen this as well. I have a bad habit of not sharpening my lip liners. So this is me. So you can kind of see. So they're both the dark shadowy look. To me, like, if you're past a certain shade, there is no point in fucking around with the chestnuts and I mean, I understand that it's a personal taste, but I also think that these are so multi-use because short of like possibly wanting a plum liner for like a red lip or something like that, like this is really what you need for like every day. Well, you don't need, but it's something that I would recommend. It's so Ami Collet. It is a little bit expensive. I will have the price up, but the LA Girl one is not. Another pick for this past month has been my garden. Every day I look forward to inspecting my few crops. It's within my plans to expand with the addition of some animals as well. This decision is made with the prime objective of utilizing their excrement as fertilizer. That's my favorite part actually, the cyclical and balanced nature of it all. It's not difficult, nor does it require some inherent quality of a green thumb or whatever other term that obscures the process of learning. Love or care isn't intuitive, it's taught and learned. If you're willing and discerning, you absolutely can and will succeed with the help of your community. which is not limited to your physical neighbor, but rather your fellow similarly yoked person. You have to accept that you are a student. Get your note-taking tools and get to work. We are extensions of our predecessors, and I feel it's incredibly disrespectful to refuse to engage with their knowledge and experience. Be armed with the truth that even experts were once novices, and that their existence can serve as a guide to improve your own. If your work is worth anything, then you will do the same, and in that way, knowledge is built upon and passed on. The approach that appeals to me is one that seeks to replicate natural conditions or work with it as opposed to against it. Of course, I love the research-backed work, but I also see the importance of not relegating traditional practices as antiquated. Also, there's no need to ruminate or self-flagellate because any plants that have reached the end of their life cycle, whether naturally or unintentionally, can be added to the compost. It will break down and later improve your soil. This is done by reintroducing microorganisms and other structures that essentially return life to the soil and allow for less input on your part. Simply put, you won't have to water nearly as often and your plants will be healthier without the use of fertilizers. Focus on observing your site and utilizing what you already have. Look into gardening with native plants, permaculture, food forests, regenerative soil, and the soil food web to start your search. These practitioners' philosophies often emulate and/or work to preserve the natural ecosystem. Consider there are thriving forests that have existed without human intervention for decades, centuries even. Extension offices and other local and remote resources abound, so let's utilize them so it doesn't feel as if we're starting from scratch with each new venture. We're building on the pre-existing, and in that way, we are never alone.